Right, sorry if you're eating your breakfast. Actually, probably better to put down your porridge for 90 seconds. Because today we're talking about one of the strangest treatments in modern medicine, and yes, it involves somebody else's poo. Now, if you watched my recent video on the microbiome, you'll know that your gut is home to trillions of microbes. Most of them are helpful, some of them are essential. And when that community gets disrupted, things can go badly wrong. One of the best examples is a bacterium called Clostridioides difficile, or C. diff. This nasty little bug often takes hold after a course of antibiotics have wiped out much of the healthy competition. The results can be severe diarrhea, repeated hospital visits, and in some cases death. Doctors can treat it with more antibiotics, but for some patients it just keeps coming back. So over the last couple of decades, researchers started doing something that sounds completely ridiculous. They began transplanting stool from healthy donors into sick patients. The idea wasn't actually new. First documented use dates back over 1700 years to ancient China, where physicians reportedly used a treatment known as yellow soup for severe intestinal illness, which somehow manages to be both descriptive and deeply unfortunate. Modern fecal microbiota transplantation, or FMT, really took off after researchers at institutions including the University of Minnesota and Harvard Medical School helped demonstrate how effective it could be, and the results were astonishing. For recurrent C. diff infections, the success rates can approach 90%. It's better than most conventional medicines, but there is a catch. Every stool sample is different, every donor is different. You're essentially treating patients with a tiny ecosystem that nobody fully understands. Which brings us to this week's breakthrough. Researchers at Icahn School of Medicine and Mount Sinai have been working on a more precise approach. Instead of using an entire donor stool sample, they identified a carefully selected group of beneficial bacteria and grew them under controlled laboratory conditions. Think of it as the difference between throwing an entire forest at the problem or just selecting the exact species you need. The team then tested defined bacterial therapy against traditional fecal transplants in patients suffering from recurrent C. diff, and remarkably, the results were very similar. Now that's important because most scientists may finally be able to identify which microbes are doing the heavy lifting. If that continues to hold up in larger studies, the implications are huge. Instead of relying on stool donors, future treatments could be manufactured like conventional medicines, standardized, quality controlled, scalable, perhaps one day as available as a simple capsule. Now let's not get carried away. This was a small study, only 18 patients. Much larger trials would be needed before anyone rewrites the textbooks. But after years of essentially saying, well, this poo might work, scientists are finally getting closer to answering the much more interesting question of, why does it work? For years, we've been treating patients with healthy poo and getting great results. Now scientists are finally starting to figure out which microbes deserve the credit.